Ubisoft's GBA adaptation of Sands of Time is best described through this clip. Yes, somehow that thing killed me in a matter of milliseconds. This is not the only collision-related issue in the game. Sometimes you will get damaged just when trying to hit enemies. That's one of two things that make it very frustrating to play the game. The other is the time rewind. Now, I do have to say I'm very impressed that Sands of Time has managed to implement the time rewind mechanic on a GBA. That feels like black magic to me. But also, the game clearly struggles with retaining information required for rewind, as it can just stop in the middle of using it even when there's enough dagger juice. So even though technically impressive, half the time rewind not only doesn't help, but actively leads to your death. And then there are smaller but still relatively considerable gameplay issues, like for example the weird difference between the jump arc depending on if you're on a thick or thin column, which makes it trickier to avoid traps in quick succession. So in a game that's somewhat problematic in terms of implementation of its core mechanics, the aspect that can save it is structure and level design. And it's okay, at most. It's sort of Metroidvania inspired, but the thing is, it doesn't feel like the game cares about obstacle progression, save point pacing, or even just gameplay element introduction. Take a look at one of the first tutorials in the game. During that whole segment, I didn't press a single button to actually learn the mechanics myself. It was just the game doing its thing automatically. With gameplay being somewhat middling, the other aspect that could still make the game enjoyable is the story. Sands of Time adapts the narrative from the console versions. The thing is, as discussed in the respective entry, the story on consoles is amazing not only because of the writing, but also because of the complex, layered contextualization of locations, characters, relationships, and how pacing and gameplay itself influences that. Just reusing some of the dialogue, and even then not all of it, makes half of the game feel blatantly random. It is pretty nice that you can also play as Farah in this adaptation, but that's not enough to make the game feel any better. So I will assign a disappointing score of 32. Technically, it is adequate overall, but there's a number of annoyances that make it very frustrating to play, and there's really nothing that would help to overlook those annoyances.